everybody, Lord Tremendous here. Got another battle report here for you. It's been a little while since I've done one because I just got back home from vacation the other day. So this one was the last one I played before I went on vacation, and it was against Death Holy Death. So what better way to close out 2014 and start out 2015 than with a butt whooping from Death Holy Death, right? But yeah, this is a 2,500 point battle, no Legion rules at all because we're prepping for the Shiloh GT. With the exception of we both are using the lore of undeath, because that's allowed, and I like it. I don't know how he feels about it because it's been a few weeks since I've talked to him, so we'll see. But yeah, it was me, Lord Tremendous, using pure Tomb Kings versus Death Holy Death using pure vampires. So this is actually one hell of a game. So you're going to sit back, relax, and get ready to listen to the sultry tones of my voice as I bring you through this battle report for my first battle report of 2015.
Assemble the army!
Here's my list, and well, it's slightly different from what you're used to seeing. I have a Tomb King, Lord Tremendous. He has a shield, the Sword of Anti-Heroes, the Armor of Destiny, the Dragonbane Gem, and the other Trickster Shard. I gave him the Sword of Anti-Heroes because he's going to go in my huge brick of Skeleton Warriors, and anything he or the unit he's in, or any character that's touching him or the unit he's in, gives him +1 strength, +1 attack. So, Sword of Anti-Heroes is worth its weight in gold with this kit, or at least the way I'm setting him up. Gave him the Armor of Destiny because he can't take heavy armor by himself, which is really stupid, and because having the 4-up ward save is just much more useful than having a rerollable 2-up ward because a high enough strength, and my armor is basically useless, but a ward save is always useful, even if the other Trickster Shard is in effect. Dragonbane Gem because he's flammable, and the other Trickster Shard because when he wounds you, I need the wound to stick. Next up, I have a Lich High Priest, Queen Elizabeth. She's a level 4 wizard with the Staff of Sorcery and the lore of Nehekhara, because I love the Tomb King lore, and the Staff of Sorcery, having a +5 to dispel your opponent's spells is butter. That's right, I'm a fat guy, I like butter. Next up, I have another Lich High Priest, Dark Vincent. He's a level 3 wizard with a Dispel Scroll, and he uses the lore of Undeath, because free chaff is awesome. My hero choice is my Necrotech, Sinister Jeffrey. He's got the Sword of Striking, Dragon Helm, and the Iron Curse icon. I gave him the Sword of Striking because I wanted him to have actual magical attacks. I've had that unit that he's in one too many times get slumped because they were stuck in combat with something ethereal or that only magical attacks could hurt, and they just get eaten alive. I'd rather him have the Sword of Striking so that the 2 attacks that he does get actually have a chance of hitting and wounding. Dragon Helm because it gives him +1 armor save, and it does a little something about that whole flaming problem, and Iron Curse icon because, well, I had 5 points, to be perfectly honest with you. My core choices are 5 skeleton horse archers with banner. I'm starting to like these guys. Never thought I'd say that. But I'm starting to really like the skeleton horse archers. The whole scouting thing really makes them useful, and they're good at taking out other chaff and harassing war machines, which I like. Then, of course, I have the spine of my army, the 58 Skeleton Warriors, the Fateless, with full command, light armor, and shields. Also, I have my 12 Skeleton Archers, Queen's Guard, with full command, and a unit of 3 Chariots, Rolling Bones, with Musician, Banner, and the Banner of Eternal Flame, and another unit of Chariots, 3x, with known as the Thunder, and they have a Banner Musician as well. My special choices are 3 Medusa Stalkers, those that gaze, and a Chimerian War Sphinx with Fiery Roar. Next up in my rear section, I have my Hyro Titan and the Protector. I have a Screaming Skull Catapult. I brought it back because I couldn't think of anything else to buy, and it's too late to change it because I've already submitted the list and it was accepted. So, gonna have to make my peace with this damn war machine. Let's see. Who knows? Maybe I'll like it. I mean, hey, I'm using the horse archers willingly, aren't I? And of course, my Casket of Souls. Here's my opponent's list, and I don't know if this is the same list that he's going to bring to the Shiloh. My guess would be no, but I don't know. I haven't talked to him since we played, so we'll see. He's got a Vampire Lord, Joachim the Devil. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. He uses weird words. He's a level 4 wizard with the Sword of Anti-Heroes, Dragon Helm, Talisman of Preservation, Other Trickster Shard, Quick Blood, Red Fury, and the Lore of Vampires. He's also got a Master Necromancer, Elizabetta, the High Priestess. She's a level 4 wizard with the Black Parapet and the Lore of Undeath. His hero choices are a White King BSB with a Great Weapon and a Night Shroud. His Necromancer Tiferet, the Hermit, level 2 wizard, Book of Arkham and Lore of Vampires. A Necromancer who is a level 2 wizard with a Dispel Scroll and the Lore of Vampires. And 2 Butt Naked Karn Wraiths. His core choices are 2 units of 5 Dire Wolves, 2 units of 49 Skeleton Warriors with full command. One is kitted out with hand weapon shield, the other with spears and shield, and a unit of 20 zombies with a banner. Gotta get that fortitude. His special choice is a corpse cart. I think it's got the Vigor Mortalis in it or whatever. I'm not really sure. His rare choices are a Terrorgeist and 2 Morghast Araki. Here are my spells, which are, well, pretty much what you're looking at. Plus the casket, plus the Titan. Well, no, the Titan spells are there. And here are his spells, which is exactly what you're looking at. Here's deployment, and for the most part, I knew he was coming to me, so I just bulked up in kind of my famous U formation, figuring he would get close, and I would collapse, and hopefully do enough damage to him that he falls apart. That was the plan. That was really it. I was hanging back. I was going to do as much damage to him as I could before he could get to me, and I was really going to try to concentrate fire on that damn, what's it called? Terrorgeist, because, well, it terrified me. Other than that, that was really as far as my plan went. Oh, my scouts, of course, they were going to go and just harass as much as they could, try to work on the, what's it called, the corpse cart or the Morghast or whatever. But after his dogs turned to face me with their vanguard, I was like, okay, I'll deal with the dogs. Here's my opponent's right flank, which consists of his Terrorgeist, some zombies, and a unit of direwolves. And here's his center, which from left to right consists of his unit of hand weapon shield skeleton warriors. I believe his general is Master Necro and his BSB is in there. Not 100%. It's been a little while. Bear with me. There's a corpse cart right there, and then next to that is another unit of skeleton warriors with spears and shields, and he's got a couple more characters in there, I'm sure. I think the rest of them go in there. And here's his left flank, which consists of his Morghasts and his other unit of direwolves. Here are my scouts, which ended up on my opponent's left flank there to harass him because they can scout. Yay! And really their job is just going to be take out those dogs. Here's my right flank, which consists of my War Kitty and my Skeleton Warriors with Tomb King and Necrotech installed. And here's my center, which consists of the unit of chariots. That is the unit of chariots with the flaming banner. I have my archers with my high lich priests installed. My titan and my catapulter on the hill. My caskets behind them, and kind of next to them is the other unit of chariots. And here's my left flank, which consists of my other unit of chariots. Here's top of 1 after movement, and I didn't get to go first. And my opponent, who's played me at least one time before this, knows that I'm not coming after him. So his dogs go towards my scouts, and everything else fires forward towards me. He does hold back with the Terrorgeist a little bit, which I actually breathed a sigh of relief, because I was like, oh good, now my Titan's not going to get screamed off the table right away. That's nice. During his magic phase, we go back and forth, and the only thing he's able to get off is he summons a unit of Spirit Host on the table. There's nothing I can do, but I ran out of Dispel Dice, stopping everything else. Literally nothing else happens. So we go over here to bottom of 1 after movement, and I don't do a whole lot. I back up somewhat, and my Titan moves up so that my his Terrorgeist can't get an easy charge on my casket. So that was kind of the idea there. Also, I realized that I needed to free up some space because my Lore of Undeath caster could, you know, it has to be within 12 inches, and I wasn't going to be able to get anything. I didn't want to put anything in front of the chariots because, well, if chariots aren't charging, then they're a waste of points. So I moved the Titan up. Maybe I should have moved them back. I didn't. It was a stupid choice, but I did. I moved them up, daring the Terrorgeist to come at me. Stupid move, I know. But I freed up that little space there so I could try to summon things onto the table, and I was excited about that. Oh, and I'm sorry, I did charge my Skeleton Horseman archers into his dogs, more out of curiosity than anything else, but there it is. There's been a picture of that. During the magic phase, the Titan uses his burning gaze on the spirit host, and Death lets it go. And I smoke the host. The funny part about this is I only got 4 hits. You know, I was like, okay, how many am I gonna hit? 4. Well, I should put some damage on it. All 4 wounded, and yeah, they went away. So that was a huge, huge good thing for me because I really don't have a whole lot to deal with ethereal. Also, during the magic phase, I'm able to summon 3 Boshati onto the table, which I was very, very excited about. And then I was able to get a 5-up ward save, only on the Titan, but that's something, and I'll take it. Also, I was able to get the multiple shots off on the Boshati, which gives them 2 shots each, which is nice. It's not, you know, perfect or ideal, but I'll take it, damn it. During the shooting phase, the Boshati take careful aim at the corpse cart and are able to slip 2 wounds through on the stupid thing, which is awesome. And then over here in combat, my horseman archers are able to... Well, I win this combat. I lose 1 for my trouble, but he loses all but 1 of his dogs, which is good. Would have been better if they had died, but you know what? He's holding me up. I'm holding him up. Chaff against chaff. It's going my way. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain. So we go over here to top of 2 after movement, and the Terrorgeist charges into the Titan, which I was a little worried about. I was kind of hoping that thing would come over and scream at the Titan. Death wasn't having it. Everything else of his carefully kind of moves around. He kind of hesitates a little bit in my opinion, which is good because it gives me some time, but bad for him because it gives me some time. But we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, his Terrorgeist goes into my Titan, and everything else just kind of shuffles around a little bit. No big deal. There's a better picture of his Terrorgeist slamming into my Titan, and I'm not happy about that. Oh yes, I'm sorry, and his Direwolves charge into my Chariots, but I think that was just to get them out of the way of the Terrorgeist. I'm not 100% on that. During his magic phase, he gets irresistibly a unit of ghouls, super ghouls, whatever, the crypt ghouls off or whatever. He gets 3 of them, and I believe 1 is a unit champion because he had the little token or whatever. So, yeah, not great, but I couldn't really do anything about it. You know, he irresistibled it, and what can you do? As I said, it was an irresistible force, so he rolls in a chart, and it's a miscast 5. Which doesn't result in a whole lot of damage. His character takes a little bit of damage, and his unit gets pulped a little bit, but you know what? It's going the right direction. Instead of getting bigger, it's getting smaller, and I'm okay with that. During the shooting phase, Terrorgeist screams at the Titan and rolls really, really well. The only reason my Titan is still up is because I made some ward saves, which I'll take. But he's got 1 wound left, and he's initiative 1. I'm in a ton of trouble here. But the positive thing is we go into combat, and my horse archers are able to finish off the last direwolf. They do lose 1 of their numbers for their trouble, but the dog dies, and that's really all I care about. Over here, yeah, the direwolves that charge into the chariots, they were able to slip a wound through, but in return, we were able to murder them. So I feel pretty good about that. Then over here in combat, yeah, it was never in doubt. The Terrorgeist was able to rip my Titan apart, no problem, and that breaks my heart. So we go over here to bottom of 2 after movement, and as you can see, I went in. The Ubshati and the Chariot slam into the Terrorgeist because it's got to die. He did not overrun last turn. I don't believe. No, he did. I'm sorry. He did overrun and hit the Ubshati, and so, yes, he slammed in there. So my Chariot slammed into his flank just to try to finish him off. They are the Flaming Chariots. It's 3d6 strength 4 impact hits. The Ubshati are in there. I have a really good chance of winning this combat and getting rid of a terrifying model for the cost of a Titan. I'll take it. I'll take it. It's not ideal, but I'm playing Death Holy Death. If I can get any advantage on him, I'll take it. My other unit of chariots charge into the zombies just because I think I can take 20 zombies out with chariots, no problem. The War Kitty charges the super ghouls with the hope of blowing through them and slamming into the Iraq guy or whatever and finishing them off. And my skeleton warriors pretty much stay where they are, and my archers move just a little bit in case things get froggy over there. Other than that, everything else is dead or in combat. And no, my stalkers did not come on the table. There's a better picture of my chariot slamming into the flank of the Terrorgeist, and I was happy about that. There's a better picture of the kitty slamming into super ghouls, which I'm okay with that too, because I need to deal with them quick. I know they have poison, I know they're dangerous, but I was just kind of hoping that my opponent wouldn't roll too many sixes, you know? And there's a better picture of my chariot slamming into the zombies, because Rick Grimes would be proud of me for doing this. That's why. During the magic phase, I get Bubble Ward off just to kind of put everything into my favor. Gives me a chance. Having a 1/3 chance of blocking any wound is kind of nice. And then I'm able to get Cursed Blades off on the chariots. I didn't really care if it went out. I was trying to pull his Dispel dice, and he saw right through my BS. No problem. During the shooting phase, I'm not sure what does it. Maybe my archers. Something puts another wound through on the corpse cart. Oh, that's what it is. My catapult. It deviates so that the center is in between the corpse cart and the skeleton warriors. I don't hit anything with the actual hole. It's perfect, like right on the board in between the two. But I do slip a wound through on the corpse cart, and I think I take 1 or 2 skeletons out. It's not very impressive. And then my archers take some shots at the Morghast, the scouts, and everything. And combined, I'm able to put 2 wounds through on these guys. So, hey, I'll take it. In combat, lo and behold, my chariots are able to obliterate all the zombies without taking any damage. And then they just turn to face the skeleton warriors, because I'm going to charge into the flank of them wherever they go. So I'm fine with that. And he knows he's in a little bit of trouble. And then over here, my chariots, God bless them, they did so much damage to that Terrorgeist. And the Ubshati, even at only strength 4, were able to slip a couple wounds through, charge, flank, banner, and some wounds to 3 wounds because he took out one of my chariots. I won this combat, and the Terrorgeist goes back to the scrap heap, and that's exactly where it belongs. So that was awesome. I was very happy about that. Over here, though, the War Kitty kind of sputtered, kind of flubbed a bit on this one. I was able to do 2 wounds to him. I think one of those wounds came from the charge. I think I did a charge and a wound. No, I did more than that. I killed one of them outright, and the other one's carrying 2. So I didn't destroy the unit and able to overrun, but I did enough damage to the unit that I'm feeling pretty cocky. So I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. So we go over here to top of 3 after movement, and there's a failed charge. It's kind of nice. His skeleton unit there with his vampire and everything tried to charge my chariots, and he needed a 4 and he rolled a 3, I think. 3 or 2. It was exactly the worst possible thing he could have rolled. So perfect. Perfect. I'll take it. Other than that, his Morghast kind of move over to the flank of my War Kitty. I'm not sure why, to be perfectly honest with you. Maybe so he could charge the War Kitty with them. That's possible. The other unit of skeleton warriors just kind of hang back in the forest a little bit. Not sure why I did that. And everything. That's it. He just kind of shuffles. He'd have to explain that one to you. I didn't fully understand. I figured he would come right at me. There's a better picture of his skeleton warriors failing to charge into my chariots, and that's awesome. Nothing happens in his magic phase or his shooting phase, and so we go into combat, and the War Kitty mulches another one, gets 3 wounds total, finishes one off. The other one's carrying 2, so he's got like 1 left. Not much hope left for those guys. It's not like I'm going to get any points for them, but damn it, I'll take what I can get. And then we go over here to bottom of 3 after movement, and I hesitate. I know I shouldn't have, but I did. Instead of charging out with the chariots into the skeleton unit and just trying to do as much damage to him as I could, I hesitate. I held off, and I just kind of maneuvered. I threw my Ubshati up forward there so that his skeleton warriors could charge them and not the chariots as easily as he would like. My stalkers come in and get behind the Morghast, just hopefully trying to take them out. The skeleton, archer, horseman guys move up to deal with the corpse card a little bit, and that's really about it. Oh, I'm sorry, and I did fail a charge. My skeleton warriors did try to charge the spearmen archers spearmen warriors and failed. So skeletons aren't agile. They aren't agile. So what can you do? Not sure if this happened during the magic or shooting phase. I'm pretty sure it was during the shooting phase, but I was able to finish off the corpse card, so I felt really good about that, because now he can't get always strike first and everything like that, and that's a huge power for them. Any augment spell that touches everything within like 6 or 12 inches or whatever it is, immediately gets always strikes first. It's like, ugh, or re-rolls fails to hit. Either way, it's not good. So getting rid of the corpse card was huge. And then over here in the shooting phase, this stalkers stare at the Morghast and put 2 more wounds through on him or whatever it is and kills one off completely, which is very nice. Now there's only 1 left, and I'm pretty sure I can deal with 1. And then in combat, my kitty has no problem finishing off the last ghoul. And I'm okay with that. I feel good about that. However, the reason I turned away from the Morghast to look at the Skeleton Warriors is because I wanted the Morghast to charge a kitty. I didn't want the Morghast to fly over my kitty and go after the what's it called? The archers or anything like that with my casters in there. It made me really nervous. So instead, I gave him the rear of the kitty, hoping that the war kitty could finish this thing off, or at least hold him off long enough for the stalkers to hit into the flank of this thing and kill it. That was the hope, that was the plan, and I just made it look like I couldn't care less about the Morghast. A little bit of subterfuge there, a little bit. So, with my plan in action, we go near the top of 4, and Holy Death has had enough of my BS. His Morghast charged into the rear of the kitty, which I'm okay with. Both units of his skeletons slam into my unit of skeletons, which was not the plan. Unfortunately, Holy Death did not get the memo, and that breaks my heart. And that's really it. Everything else he has is dead or in combat. There's a better picture of pretty much all of his remaining infantry slamming into my infantry, which is heart-wrenching in a way. I was a little nervous about this one. He has way more characters than I do, and well, my Necrotech is in base to base, my Tomb King is in base to base, so nervous, very nervous. And there's a better picture of his Morghast slamming into the rear of my War Kitty, and I'm okay with that. That's what I wanted. During this magic phase, he raises up a unit of zombies and gets them in the way of my chariot, so I can't charge in the flank of Skeleton Warriors next turn. Well done on his part, but, you know, it was nothing I could do about it because it was irresistible force. And speaking of which, he rolls on the chart, and he rolls a miscast 8. The resulting damage sees pretty much every character he has left, with the exception of his general, take a wound. So that was kind of cool. Then over here, I'm not sure what it was, invocation maybe or something or other. I can't remember, but he's able to res up one of the Morghasts pretty substantially. During the combat phase, his Morghast aren't able to really do anything to me, and I'm able to do some stuff back to him. Even with his charge and his rear, I win this combat, and he's got 1 Morghast left with a wound on him. I do turn the kitty to face him because I didn't want him to have the rear again. I just didn't, and so I turned him to face because I figure if I win this combat, I can turn to face his Skeleton Warriors anyway. It's not like I'm charging him or anything like that. And then in this combat over here, to be perfectly honest with you, Holy Death's dice rolled like butt. I think I lose this combat, but it's like by 1 or 2. It's not very effective. And I think I'm able to take out one of his Karn Race, maybe one of his, not his BSB, not yet, but I'm able to finish off one of his Karn Race, and that was something else. I felt pretty good about that. So his unit he wins this combat, I'm pretty sure, but not by much. It was a very low rolling combat phase, and I think he lost a character for his troubles. So feeling okay about this. So I weathered his charge, and now I have a chance. Now I have a real chance of winning this one. So we go over here to bottom of 4 after movement, and everything that can charge does. The chariots go into the Skeleton Warriors. The Upshati go into the Skeleton Warriors. The skeleton chariots go into the zombies to put them down again, and the stalkers go into the Morghast to save the kitty. Everybody's fighting, with the exception of archers, because if they're in close combat, I have done something terribly wrong. There's a better picture of the traffic jam that this combat has become. And there's a better picture of my chariots trying to Rick Grimes these zombies. And there's a better picture of my stalkers slamming into the Morghast, because that was the plan. During the magic phase, I cheat a little bit and get a bunch of spells off on my Skeleton Warriors, bringing back a whole bunch and making them much more viable in combat. And then we go into combat. And yeah, with the Morghasts and the War Kitty beating on him, I'm able to finish him off. I'm not sure if it's combat res or just raw wounds. Not that it matters, because everyone's dead. Or all of them are dead, or the remaining one is dead. However you want to see it. But it's dead, not just dead. And that's awesome, and we turn to face the Skeleton Warriors because that's the only threat left on the table. Needless to say, over here in combat, my chariots are able to finish off the zombies with impact hits alone. Rick smiles somewhere, not knowing why, and I turn to face the Skeleton Warriors, which I plan on charging in a turn or so. Then over here in combat, woo, his Vampire Lord. I do a little bit of damage with impact hits. Then his Vampire Lord gets to go first. And he beats the piss out of my chariots. Just kills them all. 6 wounds, no problem. However, my Upshati and my Skeleton Warriors and my General and everything else, I'm able to put a lot of damage on his army. I'm able to finish off a lot more skeletons. I win this combat, not by a ton, but as you can see, his Skeleton Warrior units are starting to deplete, and he's starting to run out of options. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. So we go over here to top of 5 because we want to see how this game is going to end. And there was no movement. Go figure. During his magic phase, he is able to get a couple spells off and resurrect some skeleton warriors and stuff like that. Nothing I could do. He had a good magic phase. He's a good player. What do you expect? But in the combat phase, his dice turn on him so amazing. They just completely turn on him. And I capitalize. I attack with everything. Upshati, Skeleton Warriors, characters, everybody gets a hold of something. And yeah, both units are pretty much at half strength now, and that's glorious. And I lost minimal models, so they're not off the table yet, but I think I can do it by the end of 6. I think I got him. I'm feeling pretty confident here. So we go to bottom of 5, and I charge with everything because while I'm feeling confident, I'm not stupid enough to leave it up to fate. So I stack the odds. My kitty and my stalkers slam into the skeleton warriors, and I left the chariots where they were because I did not want to put them into the forest. It just didn't seem smart. So I left them there, and I figured if the Upshati died, the chariots could go in, and maybe he would see that, and it would be a deterrent from him attacking the Upshati. It's not like he got points for the Upshati anyway, and with their 9 strength 4 attacks and 2 strength 4 stomps, I really wanted them to stay in the unit. So if his general's beating on skeleton warriors, then his general's beating on skeleton warriors. Couldn't care less. There's a better picture of the gaggle slamming into the vampire skeleton warriors because it's time for them to all go back to the grave. And then during the magic phase, I get all the buffs. All the buffs go off. I'm healing wounds, I'm bringing skeletons back, I'm buffing. I love augments. I really love the lore of Nehekara. It's in my opinion, it's not as good as the vampire count lore is at resurrecting models. I give you that. That's hands down true. But when it comes to just raw augment of your units and stuff like that, there is none better. Maybe the Ogre Kingdom's lore, the Great Maw lore, I'll give you that for their particular army. But for the Tomb Kings, this lore is perfect. I love it. And needless to say, my opponent, Death dies. They just don't perk up at all. At all. In fact, they get worse if they possibly could. As you can see, I decimate both units. They're gone. They're not even there anymore. And as you can see, I have all my models. Still, all my units are there, with the exception of 6 skeleton warriors that died, I think, to his general. I mean, it was insane. At one point, I did accept a challenge against his White King, which was really stupid. I just was thinking, oh, cool, I could kill his BSB. No, I flubbed pretty bad, and his counterattacks with a great weapon. He actually killing blowed once, but I made my ward save. It was close. Oh, it would have been so bad, but we were both like, oh, no. And then I made my ward save. We were like, no. I was like, yeah, and he was like, no. And people were like, shut up, we're trying to play. And we were like, quiet, we're having fun. And that's how it went. That's how a lot of my conversations go. That's just something that you know about me now, and you're welcome. But yes, as you can see, all of the infantry that were vampire-ish are gone. And that's because Egyptian is better than wet. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. There's the end of the game. Happy 2015. I start this damn year with a victorious battle report against Death Holy Death. Very happy about this. Very glad. Death admitted a few times that he had made some mistakes with the hesitation, especially with the Terrorgeist going in the way he did. However, his dice were abysmal as well. So I have to give credit where it's due. His dice were definitely on my team, and I appreciate that. And the bribe is forthcoming. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I was able to table him off the table with a minimal amount of loss, so I feel pretty good about that. So yeah, stand by because this game is over.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Banners, banners, banners. Get you some banners. Look at the banners. You are never going to be able to get better banners than this. There is no company, there is no talent scout, there is no entity on the planet that's going to get you banners better than this. Custom banners for your custom army. You want better paint scores. You want that little edge that makes your army better than the guy next to you. Sick of running, going to tournaments and getting that paint score that's just a few points lower than the guy that literally sneezes on his army. And you can't figure out why? Get these banners and make your army really pop, really stand out. Send this guy an email, tell him what you want, and get yourself some banners. It's totally worth it. Alright, guys and gals, there it is. Token Gal is back, and she's back in full operation mode of making tokens. So if you missed out before she went and got married and became Mrs. Token Gal, or however that works, this is your chance. Get your tokens now. Send her an email. Send her your monies. Get yourself some tokens. They're dirt cheap, solid gold quality. You're not going to be disappointed. Tell her Tremendous sent you. She'll probably know. But yeah, get these tokens. They're so much better than just using dice. They're so much easier to remember everything. You don't have to worry about your cards getting lost, stolen, ripped, torn, whatever. And, they're glass beads, cool high-def pictures. Totally worth it. Get yourself some tokens. You won't regret it. That's right, guys. As you saw from the pictures, Unleashed Wargaming is now doing magic cards. As you can see, not only magic cards, but phenomenal magic cards. Laminated on thick cardstock, photoshopped so that it's real sharp pictures. The words are easy to read. It's real obvious they're numbered, the casting value, the type of spell it is. And they're so unique. They're beautiful magic cards. I have every intention in the world of sending just all the orders I can get to this guy when 9th edition comes out to give me a whole set of the magic cards because these are amazing. Not only does this guy do great painting, so if you want your models painted, you need something painted, and you want it painted at a real good standard, at a professional standard for a damn good price, contact this guy. Send him an email. Get yourself some cards. Get yourself your army painted. You won't regret it. Let him know Tremendous sent you. As you could tell, though, this was a tremendous victory for Lord Tremendous. I tabled him at the bottom of 5. Well, top of 5, but no, it was bottom 5, bottom of 5. Anyway, I ended up losing 1 unit of chariots, and my Titan, he ended up losing everything. Nothing like starting off 2015 with an amazing victory over Death Holy Death. Check back in August when I get to beat him again. Yeah, I'll lose like the next 2-3 dozen games against him, and then I'll win 1, and it'll be a celebration. So I look forward to it. Why aren't you? My War Kitty was kicking ass and taking names this game. Absolutely love him. Slamming into the ghouls, baiting the Morghast, and then finishing off the unit. It was glorious. Just glorious. And yes, I used the Thunder Crush because Thunder Crush is good. I also got very lucky that Death Holy Death's dice were rolling like raw garbage. So I am happy about that. Would have liked to run this army a few more times before submitting it to the Shiloh guys, but I ran out of time. No one's fault but my own. I squandered my time, piss poor time management, but that's what happened. And this is what I'm going to run at the Shiloh, so we'll see what happens. I'm hoping to go 4-1, but I'll take 3-2. That seems to be my running record anyway. Of course, 5-0 would always be nice. That's always the absolute top of the peak, but 4-1 is my goal, and I believe I can get there with this list. I believe I can get there with just this army. I'm hoping I can, and you know what? In the end of the month, we'll find out. Really am happy with the list, though, and looking forward to seeing how it does at the GT, how I do at the GT anyway. And I'm sure I'll get to cut my teeth against Death Holy Death a few more times, not to mention a bunch of the other buddies that I got up at the store. So definitely going to see this list played quite a few more times before the end of the month, so get ready for it. It's coming. But once again, this was a fantastic game. Great way to begin the 2015 Battle Reports. Fantastic opponent as always, and I'm looking forward to our rematch. Well, guys, that's going to do it for this Battle Report number 183. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you as quick as I can. But yeah, guys, thanks.